Welcome to Injustice Media. I'm your host, Gucci J, and today we're getting into footballer Ched Evans' charge of one account of rape allegation that took place in 2011. Let's get into this.
Meantime, let's take you to Cardiff, should we, where the footballer Ched Evans has said in court that he wouldn't do anything to harm a woman. The Chesterfield player is facing a retrial after his conviction for rape was quashed on appeal. Let's bring in Siobhan Robbins, who's outside court for us. Hello to you, Siobhan.
Well, Ched Evans has continued to be cross-examined by the prosecution. That prosecution, of course, claiming that he raped a teenager in a hotel room in Rhyl in May 2011, that she was too intoxicated to give consent. Now, Ched Evans denies rape, and he's been walking through what happened on the night in question. He admits that he lied to the receptionist at that hotel when he got the key card to let him into the room where Clayton McDonald, his friend, and the women in question were.
Clayton McDonald, his friend, and the woman were. So why is it only him being charged with rape, another man there? And why is the woman having sex with two men?
He says when he entered that room it was dark, and he admitted to the court that he didn't talk directly to the woman, but he claims that Clayton McDonald asked her if Ched Evans could join in and that she said yes.
So if the other person asked and you said yes, that's consent. So I don't get why he's been arrested and charged.
And that's something that the prosecution has been challenging him on today. The prosecutor, Simon Medlin QC, said this to him: "I'm going to suggest that she did not even know it was you she was having sex with." Evans replied, "She did know it was me. I would not hurt a girl. I would not do anything to harm a girl." Now, Evans claims
this seems like a setup, you know. You think about it, it seems like a setup, because if the other guy was there, he would have, you know what I mean? He would have said that you did, you get me? He would have known what's going on. Because it doesn't really make any sense whatsoever.
that what happened was the woman asked him to perform a sex act on her, and after that they had sex. He did say that he never asked her formally if they could have sex. He never asked her if they could have unprotected sex. And on that, he said it was at that moment that we were all caught. It was a moment that we were all caught up in. It was not the right time for a conversation. Now, the conversation in court then moved on to the way he left the hotel. He left via a fire escape, and the prosecution looked at that CCTV.
That's a bit weird. Fire escape.
TV and claimed that Ched Evans had his head down when he left, and they suggested that
had his head down.
He decided to walk home with his friend Clayton McDonald rather than getting a taxi, because they say he was trying to cover his tracks, something which he denies. They then went on to look at
It's suspicious.
A conversation he had with police when he was being questioned, where he talked about footballers saying that women were attracted to them because of the money, and the prosecutor suggested that he had acted, they claim, in the way he had that night because he felt entitled, something which Ched Evans denied, again reiterating that he would not harm a woman, that he would not have sex if it was not consensual. Now, he's denied the charges, he's finished giving his evidence, but the case here continues.
Okay for now, thanks.
Kind of vague, as if I could find anything else.
Hello, good evening. The footballer Ched Evans says he's overwhelmed with relief after being found not guilty of raping a 19-year-old woman in a North Wales hotel room in 2011. The former Wales international was originally convicted the following year and served half of a 5-year prison sentence before being released. But the conviction was quashed in April this year and a retrial was ordered. In a statement read by his solicitor outside Cardiff Crown Court, the 27-year-old said he wholeheartedly apologised to anyone who might have been affected by the events of the night in question. Well, let's get more now from our correspondent, Thomas Morgan, who's been following the trial for us and is outside Cardiff Crown Court for us tonight. Thomas.
Well, after a 5-year battle, the saga is finally over for Ched Evans. It all began on the 30th of May in 2011 when he and his friend, fellow footballer Clayton MacDonald, had sex with a 19-year-old woman in the Premier Inn in Rhyl. She said she was too drunk to consent and alleged that they had raped her. There was a trial subsequently. Mr. MacDonald was found not guilty, but Ched Evans was found guilty and served 2.5 years in prison. He always maintained his innocence, even posting a video online saying so. And earlier this year, he had his conviction quashed and a retrial was ordered. And after 2 weeks, today we had a verdict. The jury unanimously declaring that he was not guilty. And a North Walian footballing family feeling that they had somehow had some redemption. Our Wales correspondent, Sian Lloyd, has the full details.
For more than 5 years, Ched Evans has maintained his innocence. Today, a jury...
That counts as well, because that's a long time. 5 years. Maintaining his innocence.
At Cardiff Crown Court acquitted him of rape. He has cleared his name. The footballer was playing for Sheffield United when he was accused of raping a 19-year-old woman in a hotel room. His career with the club ended when he was convicted in April 2012. After serving half of his 5-year sentence, Ched Evans was released on licence. With his fiancée Natasha Massey by his side, he vowed to clear his name.
I made an incredibly foolish decision and failed those people who trusted and believed in me. Most of all, Tasha and our families.
In April this year, Ched Evans' conviction for rape was quashed in the Court of Appeal after new evidence came to light and a retrial was ordered. That trial began in Cardiff 2 weeks ago. The prosecution took the jury back to the early hours of May the 30th, 2011. Ched Evans had been drinking with friends in his hometown of Rhyl. He returned to the room of fellow footballer Clayton MacDonald at the Premier Inn at Rhyl on the North Wales coast. Mr. MacDonald, who was cleared of rape at an earlier trial.
Okay, his friend MacDonald was cleared.
Was said to be having consensual sex with the young woman when Ched Evans let himself into the room. Prosecuting Simon Medland QC told the jury she was extremely drunk and didn't know what was happening. She couldn't have consented to sex with Ched Evans, he said. The footballer told the jury that he would never hurt a girl and that the young woman had agreed that he could join in. The court also heard from 2 witnesses who hadn't spoken before. Defending Judy Khan QC described them as important witnesses and claimed their evidence about how the woman behaved when they'd had sex with her completely undermined the prosecution case. She dismissed a suggestion by the prosecution barrister that they were lying for money. Ched Evans is now free to return to play at League One Chesterfield, where he's been signed since the summer. The battle to clear his name now over. Sian Lloyd, BBC News, Cardiff Crown Court.
As Sian mentioned in her piece, the key to this retrial was those 2 new witnesses who both say they had similar sexual experiences with the 19-year-old woman.
Yeah, I think he's innocent because if accusing both of them and then the first one was having consensual and then obviously he's come and then now he's saying rape, then obviously, you know what I mean, doesn't make sense.
Said the woman had acted much in the same way as Ched Evans described. So Ched Evans' defence had argued that if Ched Evans was lying, how was it that their account was so similar to his? Now, the jury of 7 women and 5 men took less than 3 hours to come up with a non-guilty verdict, and an emotional Ched Evans embraced his fiancée Natasha Massey, and there were tears from the family all around. And minutes later, after the verdict, his solicitor Sean Draycott gave this statement just outside the court here.
In the early hours of the 30th of May 2011, an incident occurred in North Wales that was to change my life and the lives of others forever. That incident did not involve the commission of a criminal offence.
You can see the nerves has got him. He's got the weight on his shoulder. He doesn't want to look nowhere else, you know. So let's look at that paper. You know what I mean? Just wants the truth to be heard and spoken out.
And today I am overwhelmed with relief that the jury agreed. I would like to thank my legal team, Judy Khan QC and David Emanuel of Garden Courts Chambers, London, and Sean Draycott of Draycott Brown Solicitors Manchester, for their tireless efforts upon my behalf.
It's a big legal team, man. Must have spent like millions or close to $1 million on this case.
Thanks go to my friends and family, most notably my fiancée Natasha, who chose, perhaps incredibly, to support me in my darkest hour. Whilst my innocence has now been established, I wish to make it clear that I wholeheartedly apologise to anyone who might have been affected by the events of the night in question. Thank you very much indeed.
No further statements.
Well, in the last hour, Ched Evans' football club, Chesterfield, have given a statement. The chief executive, Chris Turner, has welcomed the news, saying, "We are naturally delighted with the outcome, especially for Ched, his family and his friends. We can now all move forward and focus on football." This story became a hugely emotive issue after the original trial. But today, for the family, for Ched Evans himself, after a 5-year battle, his nightmare is over and he can get on with rebuilding his footballing career and his life.
Thomas, thank you very much indeed. Thomas Morgan reporting there from Cardiff Crown Court.
It was a big case, man. I remember 2011. Massive case. Yeah, man. Let's watch a bit of this. See what this is saying.
Where he started his football career and where early one morning in 2011, a jury would later conclude he raped a young woman in a hotel room. The trial heard how she'd been drunk and in no condition to consent to sex. As you'd expect, most people here have a view about the ongoing row over Ched Evans' future.
He suffered his punishment, and that's it. That's the law of our land, isn't it? He's only been charged with whatever it was. I don't know what the exact charges were or the circumstances, but he served his time, and that's the end of it.
You feel quite strongly about it?
Absolutely. You have to forgive and forget. Yeah, he served it.
You think you should forgive and forget that he committed
a
rape?
Not at that. No, shouldn't forget. It's the wrong word, but put to one side. He suffered his punishment, and that's it. Finished. I mean,
the argument goes that he hasn't shown any remorse.
Doesn't matter. He might not have been guilty in the first place.
Quite a few here wanted to cast doubt on his conviction, but not all.
What do you think about this row? Do you think Ched Evans should be allowed to resume his professional career?
No, because he's a high-profile character and he should be made to set an example.
Listen to these guys. I think this is before he was found not guilty.
Yeah, the girl still lives with the repercussions of whatever went on. Move on. And obviously he's picked up the pieces and he's going straight back to a high-flying life, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not. I think it should be a lifetime ban. I really do. It's shocking.
How if it's been cleared? Come on, man. Speak sense.
Strong polarised views on the ground. At a more representative level, however, Rill appears to prefer the no-comment approach.
We got in touch with Ched Evans' old school here in Rill. We spoke to the town mayor. We rang the local paper. We spoke to a community centre.
These people are dangerous. Rang his school, spoke to the mayor. The hell?
But anyone we asked
like to
Anyone.
make a public comment about this case?
Public comment.
No, came the answer from all of them. 80 miles away from Rhyl in Oldham, a possible signing for Ched Evans dominated the headlines. But in the centre of Rhyl, most had already formed a view on that one.
Well, I don't think he should be able to go back because it's a privileged job. It's a privileged position. I mean, they earn a lot of money. And, you know, what other rapist could go and get a job like that? It's not.
Oh, rude. It's been cleared, man.
Fair, you know, just because he's a footballer, it shouldn't be allowed.
Evans's victim had to leave her home and change her identity after being named on social media. He is trying once again to get his conviction appealed. He's claimed repeatedly that he's innocent.
Okay, this is before it. But yeah, man, leave it there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one.